So I'm back with a quick video, man, and today we're going to be doing my first impressions on the Sony ZVE10, man. I just unboxed this from Lens Rentals, scooped it up for about 4 or 5 quick days because I told you guys that I was going to try to choose between the M50 Mark II and the Sony ZVE10. All right, so I just want to give you guys my first impressions before we jump into future videos with this specific camera and lens combo. So first off, I rented it from Lens Rentals. It didn't cost that much. They shipped it out literally the next day. And obviously, you know, when you're dealing with Lens Rentals, man, they pack their stuff up really nice. And the unboxing experience is always kind of interesting and fun coming from them as well. And again, I got the Sony ZVE10 with the Sigma 16mm f1.4. The reason why I went with this lens right here was because that's the combo that I would have gotten with the M50. So if I was to buy the M50 Mark II, I would get a Sigma 16. And if I was to get the ZVE10, I would get this Sigma 16mm. So I wanted to try this lens on both bodies to see which one, you know, I feel like I like the best. All right, so we're gonna kind of do some of the same videos that we did with the M50 Mark II. We're gonna try to do that with the Sony ZVE10 as well. Now, as far as my first impressions, I did turn the camera on. I just I charged it up a little bit. I turned it on just to make sure it worked. Then I charged it all the way up, so now it's at 100%. So I actually haven't had too much time to play around with it. Maybe about 30 quick minutes because I had to take my son to practice and I just got back to the house and I wanted to give you guys my first impressions. But for the most part, this camera compared, now keep in mind we're gonna be comparing this to the M50 Mark II a lot because that's the other camera that I'm into, the M50 Mark II or the ZVE10 Mark I. So those are my two, all right? Comparing this to the M50 Mark II, I feel like the M50 Mark II is a little bit bigger body-wise. I feel like it's a little bit bigger than the ZVE10. I do like the grip on the ZVE10 better than I like the grip on the Canon M50 Mark II. However, on this grip, I noticed that you definitely only can get 3 fingers. Your pinky gonna dangle, and it's almost better to even just have like 2 fingers on the grip. But I've seen a lot of videos, and you guys seen a lot of videos on the ZVE10. I know that if you throw a cage on here, it gives a little bit more grip, so you can get that pinky on. So I know that a cage would fix that. All right. As far as how I was talking about the M50, if you saw that video, I was saying that the M50 felt like a toy. Now I feel like the ZVE10 feels more like a toy than the M50 off my first impressions. But just like the M50, once you pair this Sigma lens on here, it gives it a little bit more heft and it makes it start, it kind of completes the premium package feel when you throw this heavy 16mm by Sigma. Once you throw this on, it gives it like a little bit more of a premium feel. So now with this lens on, it feels a little bit more solid, a little bit more weight. It feels a little bit more premium, even though the camera is still, you know, very plasticky and very, you know, lightweight and toy feeling. You know what I'm saying? I did turn the camera on. I went through some of the settings. Now, mind you, I'm shooting on my ZV-1 right now. So I'm kind of familiar with the interface of this camera because they kind of match a little bit. But one thing I will say is that I got a little confused on how to actually turn the camera to photo and video mode because I totally wasn't paying attention to this S and Q button with the photo and the video. I wasn't paying attention to that button, and I was trying to find a little dial and all of that to switch because I'm used to my Canon and all of that. So it took me about a good 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes to figure out that, oh man, let me press this button a few times to get it into the camera mode. So that was just one little small learning curve. But for the most part, because I have a Sony ZV-1, I was able to navigate, just in the last 30 minutes, I was able to navigate this camera pretty well. From what I saw, all right, and this is still my first impressions, from what I saw when I turned this camera on, and I did this little screen, right? And I turned it on, looking through, and like just looking through here, it looks amazing. I did take one photo just to test it out when I put it in photo mode, just to make sure, you know, I knew what I was doing with the camera. I took one photo and just, you know, the little playback that it gave me on that photo, it looked really nice too. So, you know, I'm pretty anxious to try to get this out and take a few quick photos to throw in a quick video so you guys can see it. But anyway, this was just more of a video to let you guys know that the ZVE10 Mark I did come in. We got it for about 4 or 5 days. I'm gonna try to do some of the same style videos that I did with the M50 Mark II, and probably by the end of me having the ZVE10, I give you guys my final thoughts as to, you know, would I buy the ZVE10 or the M50 Mark II. Now, if you saw that M50 Mark II final thoughts video, then you already know how I feel about the M50 Mark II. So I'm pretty anxious to see how I'm gonna feel at the end of this with the Sony ZVE10. Now, just to kind of give you guys the rundown, I'll probably do like a little vlog test, kind of like the same way I did the M50. We'll do a vlog test. I'll do a little bit of a video, just random video kind of test. We'll take some photos. I'll try to squeeze that all into one video. We'll also use this camera here in the office, like a studio camera, set it up, you know, get the audio running and all of that stuff, try to dial in some settings, and we'll go from there with that as well. And then I'll try to see what this camera looks like stacked up against my ZV-1 and my Canon 90D, just kind of like a hardware look, and just kind of see how it fits in. Kind of like the same way I did my, you know, M50 Mark II video, just to see how it fits in, man, because those are some of the things that's more important to me than, you know, dynamic range and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? I use these cameras as just tools, and I don't always have to have the latest and greatest in order to accomplish the mission. You know what I'm saying? As long as I have the tool to accomplish the mission with, the mission will get accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell you already off the bat, one thing I know that I'm gonna like about this camera over the M50 Mark II is that you can at least use the 4K in this. You see what I'm saying? Because you can still track your eye and all that stuff with the 4K in this. So I already know that's gonna be a good look, because if the Sony ZV-1 can do it, I know the ZVE10 Mark I can do it. That would probably be the only knock right now that I can think of against the M50, just kind of throwing that out early right now. But again, for the most part, the setup, ZVE10, Sigma 16mm f1.4. I threw my Rode mic on here, so this is what the setup is gonna look like going forward for these next few days while I'm using this camera. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for those videos. Hopefully you guys check those videos out, especially the final video when I give you guys my final thoughts on the ZVE10, basically in comparison to the M50, and which one would I pretty much purchase. You know what I'm saying? So with that, guys, just a quick little first impressions on the ZVE10 Mark I, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, guys. I'm a little tired. Today is Sunday. I had church, and then I had to go to practice with my son, and got a couple of other things to do, like trash and all this stuff, get that stuff taken out, me and my son, and I'm a little tired today. All right, so that's the reason why I don't have that much energy to start diving into this camera and doing a lot of, you know, video and photo and stuff today. So y'all gonna have to work with me. But at the end of the day, I will catch you guys in the next video, and we'll start looking at the ZVE10 Mark I. Peace.